are Hey guys, I recently did a video on comparing the 1250 GS with the Tiger 900 Rally Pro. These are both bikes that I owned, and I rode it every day. And then I got a lot of requests because I had also owned the KTM 890 Adventure as well. And a number of people asked me to give a comparison between the KTM 890 Adventure and the Tiger 900 Rally Pro. So here we go. I won't go over the specs of the bike with you guys because the technical specs especially, because that is something you can read up on your own. I will give you an heart and soul thing. Like, you know, me riding the KTM 890 Adventure on a daily basis and the Tiger 900 Rally Pro on a daily basis. By the way, we are in a very beautiful location here. This is just outside of San Diego. We are in the southern part of San Diego, close to Chula Vista. And Mexico is on that side, across the mountain. I think it is across the mountain here. So going back to the comparison between the KTM 890 Adventure and the Tiger 900 Rally Pro. For one thing, the KTM 890 Adventure, this gas tank is situated down here. So that lowers the center of gravity for that bike tremendously. The weight of the Tiger, I don't know the exact specs, but you guys can check it out on the internet, I'm sure. But this bike is slightly heavier than the KTM 890 Adventure. But when I rode both bikes, you know, the reason I bought the KTM 890 Adventure was I looked at the gas tank and I thought, wow, this bike is like awesome because really low center of gravity, it handles well, it's a 900cc bike or 800 something cc bike, which is also, the cc's are the same pretty much between the two bikes. But to be honest with you, handling wise and feeling the weight of the bike, I really don't see much difference between the two bikes. I'm saying I love this bike. And I read up on it as well between the 800 series for the Tiger series and the 900 series. So Triumph said that they had lowered the center of gravity. I don't know what they did, but whatever they did, it totally works. I'm saying in reality, I don't really see much difference between the two bikes. Now the difference between the two bikes, again, I'm going into the nitty gritty. Both bikes are really good bikes, man. They are both awesome, good bikes. By the way, this is a big motorcycle place here. Like, people love to ride motorbikes here. So you'll see a lot of bikes going up and down this road here. I'll just wait for these trucks to pass by so that my audio is good. So the big difference that I found between the two bikes was the seat. This seat is so much more comfortable than what it was on the 890 Adventure. I'm saying for the 890 Adventure, I took the stock seat and I literally went up to that place up in Northern California. What do they call it, man? There's a seat place there, very famous. You can look it up. They make seats for bikes, and I got a custom seat made for my bike over there. Oh, that was loud, I think. So I got a custom seat made for my bike there. Even that was okay. And then I sold off that seat and I got another seat from Sergeant Seats in Florida, and even that was so-so. And my sitting position on the KTM 890 Adventure was not as good as what on this bike. It is super comfortable. Mind you, it's different for everybody. I am 6'1" with a 34-inch inseam. What might be great for me might not be great for you. So this is something that you have to test ride and see for yourself as to what fits you better between the two bikes. The second major difference that I found between the two bikes was the windshield. This windshield, it's a small windshield, but it works. Whereas on the KTM 890 Adventure, I took the stock windshield out and I replaced it with a Puig, P-U-I-G windshield, and that was so-so. It improved it a little bit. I still felt a lot of head buffeting on the highway. like especially on my helmet, like it was horrible, above anything above 80. But again, that, see, it's different for everyone, right? For my height, for 6'1", it was not good. So for you, it might be great, but I'm just pointing out stuff that I found different between the two bikes. So the windshield was the second thing. The third thing that I noticed, which is, again, it is me. Again, both bikes are very good bikes, but the build quality on the KTM seemed to be less. Like if you looked at the switches and all that, like I came from a 1250 GS to the KTM 890 Adventure, and it almost immediately felt, because BMW switches and you know, dials, controls, the build quality on the BMW is like solid. Whereas on the KTM 890 Adventure, it felt like kind of flimsy. And when I sold that and I got this bike here, it again felt really solid. Like this bike feels like, yeah. So you touch the switches, the dials, the mirrors are solid. Like it feels like a solid bike. Again, it could just be a feeling. I'm saying I might be wrong. Maybe the build quality is great on both bikes. They both come with very good warranties. So, you know, I'm just giving you my feeling. Run it on the highways, on all handling wise, on the twisties. Once I'm saying, if I go right up, straight up this way, I'll end up in the mountains. These are sort of the foothills here, but if you go further, you go pretty much close to the Mexican border, actually, on Tecate. But anyways, going back to the twisties and handling on corners, both bikes felt really good. Like the KTM 890 Adventure is a really good bike for that. Again, the lower center of gravity helps. The center of gravity on this one and that one, really, I didn't feel much difference. This bike is, the Tiger 900 Rally Pro is slightly heavier than the KTM 890 Adventure, but really, as far as suspensions go, I find both bikes to be similar. I adjusted the suspension on this one. I didn't adjust it on the KTM. I didn't really have to. It was very good as it was in stock. But for this one, I adjusted it slightly on my own, and it works really well. I just stiffened it a little bit so that when I brake hard, it just goes like, it just stops. I can hear a helicopter. I think, you know, because the border is close by here, right? So there are always choppers, like Coast Guard choppers flying around. And I wish I could show you one, but I don't see one right now. I'm sorry, I hear it, but I don't see one. Anyways, guys, let me see. I made some notes here. Let me see if I have, did I miss something here? Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention was that when I'm comparing the two bikes, my setup on both bikes was exactly the same. It was very similar. I have these Lone Rider bags for a very long time. I own these bags, and whenever I've sold or bought a bike, I've carried these bags with me. So on the KTM 890 Adventure, I'll post a photograph of the bike that I had. It was a very similar setup. The two bags were here with a very similar sort of contraption here to put the bags on. And when I travel long distance, I use these two bags, and then there's a 35-liter bag on top. I don't have a luggage rack. I don't need one. I just put a 35-liter bag like this, and I tie it down to these points here. And it works really good. And that's more than enough luggage for me. I don't really need to carry much more. I don't really do hardcore camping, so I don't carry like camping gear and all that. It's just my clothes, and I try to keep it as minimum as possible. Anyway, when I'm comparing the two bikes, the setup is very similar between the two bikes. I hope it helps you guys, in taking a decision. If you're looking at the KTM 890 Adventure or the Tiger 900 Rally Pro, it gives you another perspective, another thought, another way to look at it. Good luck, man. Ride safe.